Hey there, Clear Lake peeps. Ross England here, Clear Lake Guide Service with your Clear Lake report for June 13th, 2024. Spent a little bit of time down in Bob Tyler's neck of the woods and was actually pretty surprised. So here's what we got. I want to talk about watercolor first. I'm currently sitting up in the upper end of the lake. We'll call it the middle of the upper end of the lake. And, the surface is okay. It's just, there's a lot of suspended algae. And as far as I can see from one side to the other, this suspended algae extends all the way down to a line that currently goes from Windflower to let's call it Glenhaven. In that area there's just a line that goes across the lake, and below that line water is pretty nice. I could see probably 3 feet, and this was down in the Rattlesnake Arm, deep in the Rattlesnake Arm. I actually started out down along the old mine tailings down there, and that water was almost 4 foot of visibility. I might have gone farther than that, but it was dark, so it was hard enough to see as it was. But anyway, all of this is going to change. We've got hot weather, wind comes up, so almost everything that we give you as far as details can change, literally within hours of what we actually tell you. So anyway, the water clarity from what I saw, bottom half of Rattlesnake Arm looked pretty good. Narrows was kind of the area where that line was starting to form, and I don't know what it looked like, the last couple of days down in the Redbud Arm, because I didn't get down there. Temperature when I started out at the county park was 75 degrees at about 5:30 in the morning. Coming off the water about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. 79 to 80 degrees is what I was pretty consistently seeing. Lake level 6.3, so it's dropped a little over 1/4 of a foot since last week, which is kind of expected. The hotter it gets, a little bit more evaporation goes on, so that'll continue to happen. Another couple weeks and we'll be down below 6. Well, actually another week and a half and we'll be down below 6. Upcoming activities this Saturday, BBT. I'm not sure where they're going out of, so if someone knows and wants to drop it down in the comments below, that'll kind of tell everybody what's going on. That's pretty much it as far as just covering the basics. I'll tell you, I want to share with you, I spent some time, sorry, let me back up one thing. There was a fish die-off that Bob Tyler on his channel documented very well. So if you want some more information on what happened in the Keys, I would go over to his channel, and he's got several videos that begin with him seeing that there was an issue and him taking out the weed whacker boat and trying to stir up some oxygen, and ultimately getting to the disappointment of the next day that it didn't help as much as he thought it would. But anyway, you can catch up with Bob Tyler's channel, and he can update you on what happened there. And at the same time, apparently there was a die-off going on in Cache Creek. Both of them definitely attributed to low oxygen content, probably made worse by the spraying that they did down in the Keys. The time they did it, it was good. The water temperatures were decent, and the air temperatures. Anyway, Bob can fill you in on all that stuff rather than me try to rattle on about it. I want to talk about real briefly, I probably had the most fun day I've had in quite a while. Um, I, I caught well over 30 fish today. I started out, instead of going and trying to get my topwater thing to go, I started out with some square bill crankbaits, and that's one of the reasons I went down below, trying to get on some rock banks down there and just see what happens. And I wasted roughly 2.5, well, a good solid 2 hours with all I had to show for it was one 9-inch bluegill. One 9-inch bluegill. It was a good bluegill, but still. So I switched over. I picked up my drop shot rod and just moved in, started fishing docks and tules and rocks. Just pretty much just fished anything that I could throw at. And I was very pleased to find out, you know, I caught, like I said, probably in excess of 30 fish today. Now, there was only 8 of them that I would call decent keepers. There was probably half of them, 15 or so, that were less than 12 inches, and the rest of them were just 12 to 13 inch. But I got to tell you, from fishing all year and not seeing those smaller fish, I am really super happy and encouraged to see that there are some and that they were active. Just I haven't really seen in any quantity any of the juvenile fish, and today I did, and I'm encouraged by that. So I didn't catch any big fish. The biggest fish I caught was probably a 9-pound catfish. Had a couple of 3-pound bass, 2 3/4 to 3-pound bass. They were the biggest ones I caught. I mean, if I was pushing it, I might have had 11 pounds today, but I didn't care. It was just fun to get that many bites. It's been a while. So conditions here are still actually pretty decent. I haven't run into any just flat out green slop that messes up your reels or any of that kind of stuff. It's gonna come with the heat, it's gonna come, but I really haven't seen a whole lot of it. I'm sure there's places out there, but there's a lot of lake that doesn't have it. So as the water comes down, we're starting to see a little bit of the tops of some weeds here and there, so that's encouraging. So basically there's some encouraging stuff going on, so we'll just see how it plays out. Should be able to get you another report out next week. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, drop them down below. There's usually some information that comes out from people who know better than I do about some of this stuff. So we will definitely have a report out next week.